Hi, good evening and good day to all of you. A warm welcome to everyone. And thank you for joining today's webinar introducing the Nauru Citizenship Program, the latest bespoke citizenship solution launched by Henley Partners. My name is Nubar Velieva, and I'm an Associate Director, Private Clients based in our Turkey, Istanbul office. Joining me today is my colleague, Mr. Nicholas Jones-Juma, Director of Strategic Partnerships at the Nauru Program Office. Nicholas brings a very strong background in economic development and philanthropy. He has represented numerous multinational companies and even governments across different regions of the world, and he truly has an impressive professional track record. Thank you, Nicholas, and welcome. And before we move on to the details of the Nauru program, allow me to briefly introduce you our company, Henley Partners, and provide a short overview of the investment migration industry itself. Following that, Nicholas will take you through the program itself and explain the key features in detail. So Henley Partners. We are the global leader in the investment migration industry. We advise ultra high net worth and net worth individuals on acquiring citizenship and residence by investment worldwide. Beyond investment migration, we also guide our clients on global wealth structuring, taxation considerations, education planning, and so on. And we have also a dedicated concierge team providing ongoing lifestyle and advisory services to our clients. Another very important pillar of our business is government advisory. We work closely with governments to design, implement, and market investment migration programs. To date, Henley Partners has helped to raise over 15 billion US dollars for governments, including countries such as the UK, Switzerland, Singapore, and many others. And here is the map of our global presence. As you see on the map, we have strong global presence with offices across all key regions worldwide. For the majority of the programs we advise on, we have feet on the ground, allowing us to closely control and oversee the entire process. And over the past few years, we also have significantly expanded our presence across the United States, reflecting strong growth from both inbound and outbound client demand. And our approach is very selective. We assess all available programs globally and create a kind of short list that passes our internal checks and balances, ensuring solutions that are robust, compliant, and as risk-free as possible for our clients. Currently, we have 37 countries in our portfolio and more than 50 residence and citizenship programs worldwide. So therefore, Henley Partners forms a key piece of the wealth planning ecosystem for our private clients and complementing their broader financial and family planning strategies. You will see the Q&A box at the bottom of your screen, so please feel free to submit your questions there. We will address them toward the end of the session. And I will also share my contact details at the end of the presentation, should you wish to reach out to me directly or to Nicholas with any follow-up questions and inquiries. And now, it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Nicholas Jones-Juma, Director of Strategic Partnerships at the Nauru Program Office, who will walk us through our latest offering in detail. Thank you very much, and over to you, Nicholas. Let me stop sharing my screen.
Where is mine? Okay. Just 1 second, I'll share mine.
Sure.
Hello, everyone, and thank you so much, Bar, for the warm welcome. It's a true pleasure for me to, sorry, it's at the end, to take part in this series and to present to you and to the audience the Nauru Economic and Climate Resilience Citizenship Program. I'm based in Dubai and I cover Europe, Middle East, Africa, North and South America. I have a colleague in Hong Kong who covers Asia. But let's start with this presentation, and briefly what I will be covering today is a general background as to why the program was launched, key criteria for eligibility, and as well as the key benefits of the program and how it differentiates from other programs. And of course, welcome your question at the end. But let's look at Nauru, protecting what matters most. And the reason why we say that is the purpose of the program. The program was launched by the president of Nauru to generate funds. Those funds are very much needed for development on the island. The nation island suffers from climate change. There's many people living on the coastal areas, and those coastal areas are being threatened. So the biggest project for the island is to relocate the communities from coastal areas to higher ground, and the project is called Higher Ground Project. So the funds used from generated from this program will be used specifically for that purpose. Hence, the program is called what it's called. What is Nauru? What is it? It's a small island nation of 12,000 population, plus 1,000 living overseas as expat. Location-wise, it's just south of the equator, close to Australia, with a tropical climate. What's interesting about Nauru is, according to the UN, it's ranked as the first country worldwide in terms of vulnerability for climate, and the fifth worldwide. Language on the island is Nauruan and English, and there is a security arrangement between Nauru and Australia, and the currency used is the Australian dollar. Nauru's evolving economy, it's shifted from being reliant heavily on phosphate mining resources. So that resource is no longer available on the island in large economic quantities, which means the revenues from mining phosphate has dropped, and therefore the country is looking at new sources of income. One of the key areas that Nauru is focused on and will be focused on moving forward is sustainable fishing, as well as developing the ecotourism initiatives on the island, as well as trying to make the island a testing ground for agri-crop that are resilient to climate. The program office. So in return for a contribution, say for a single applicant of 105,000 US dollar, if the process is completed with the due diligence, etc., and passes through, that 105,000 US dollar goes into the government fund. But the program doesn't run entirely in Nauru, so we have a program office that is based in New Zealand, in Auckland. My colleagues who are based in New Zealand carry out a lot of tasks in terms of due diligence, in terms of processing and applications, and maintaining communication with applicants and also with agents. So the program office in Auckland has about 15 people and recruiting more at this stage. There are 3 to 4 people that are based on on the island in Nauru. Myself based in Dubai and covering EMEA and Americas, and my colleagues in Hong Kong. So that is how the program is run, and it was established through the Nauru Economic and Climate Resilience Citizenship Act, which was out last year. So the program has been run for almost a year now, and we work in close collaboration with the Nauru government, as I said earlier, to implement this initiative. Our role is to administer the citizenship program and ensure accountability, transparency, and accountability directly to the president and the parliament, and also oversee that the transparent fund allocation. So we also implement a high-level rigorous due diligence process in multiple parts. So we do it through our own team and our compliance director and his team, as well as external international providers. For example, we work with Exeger, and then provide regular reporting on the program. This is a photo of the island capturing the remnants of a port, that old port that was used to be kind of very, very busy transporting phosphate. It's under development, so there's a new project to develop the port on the island. So what differentiates this program is that the contribution goes directly to the Treasury Fund. So it is not an investment in real estate. It's the income that's generated from the program goes, as I said earlier, to benefit the community on the island. Our process is streamlined and efficient. We promised right from the start a processing time of 3 to 4 months. We kept to that promise. In fact, the very first application that we received towards end of February this year, beginning of March, took just around 3 months. And then all the following applications are kept within that timeline. So in comparison to other programs that might take 12 or 16 or maybe more, or 18 months, the turnaround is much shorter. And that can be very attractive to many applicants. The investment opportunities at this stage are limited in terms of we don't have a real estate investment option, but hopefully that will come in the near future. Key benefits. So it's a politically neutral alternative passport. of course, allows you visa-free entry to key destinations, including UAE, which is becoming more and more in a global hub for business, as well as Hong Kong, Singapore, and others. We kept the program as family friendly as possible. So you can include spouse, you can include siblings, you can include, as a main applicant, you can also include your parents and grandparents, etc. The contribution that you would make will go towards the climate crisis solution in the Pacific. And there is no restrictions in terms of dual citizenship and no minimum stay or visa required to the island. So again, unlike other programs at this stage, there is no requirement to visit or stay a minimum period on the island. Yeah, it's beautiful. The process of applying, we work closely with Henley and Partners. They have offices all over the world, as you have seen from the earlier presentation. The application process is quite simple. You engage with a licensed agent. In this case, you engage with Henley and Partner, and they will provide you with the necessary advice around what documentation is required, submission of documentation, whether and let me just say here, we're talking about Henley and Partner, but assuming an applicant wishes to apply through either agent, please make sure that it's a licensed agent, and by far Henley and Partner covers the globe. So if and they are they are quite experienced with applications with Nauru. So through their teams, you're able to get the correct advice and what sort of documents you need, etc., and timeline and the follow-up. Once we've collected the documents and we've done our due diligence and checks, then the approval will be announced, and then there's a simple process of obtaining the citizenship and passport after that. We don't skip any part in terms of due diligence, and we don't we don't fast track anyone over others. It's the same process for everybody. In terms of investment, as I mentioned earlier, the cost is again a major attraction. We're not the cheapest, and we're not meant to be the cheapest in terms of citizenship programs, but we realize that in terms of the effectiveness of this program, we're looking at 105 for a single applicant, 110 for a family of up to 4. Family of 5 is 115, and then adding a sibling or a spouse is 15K US extra. Eligibility criteria, and that's quite simple. It's important, but it's quite simple. I mean, in terms of age, the main applicant has to be 18 and over, demonstrate good character, has no criminal record, and proof of funds are required. So we also look at the police clearance certificates, etc., to demonstrate that the person poses no threat. So all those requirements are within the countries that we accept applications from, and we accept applications from all over the world, with the exception of few countries that are kind of, if you like, on the UN list, which include at the moment Russia, Belarus, Iran, North Korea, and Myanmar. So we're perhaps likely to see a change maybe in Russia, and if that happens, then we will announce it formally. But at this stage, the applications from those countries, we don't receive applications from those countries. So that's in terms of eligibility, as well as some other countries where there is a more kind of enhanced due diligence or requirement, specifically in Afghanistan and Yemen, where individuals or families have to prove that they've been living outside, for example, those two countries for 5-10 years, and the source of fund are not related or linked to the country. Otherwise, any person from any other country can apply, of course. That's beautiful Nauru there. Due diligence and background checks. So it's very rigorous. And the reason for that is we want to protect the program, and we want to make sure that the integrity of the program remains. And our promise to the president of Nauru in terms of what we report back is kept. So the checks are performed, as I mentioned earlier, by approved independent international firms specializing in anti-money laundering, and they carry out background verification, etc. They have the capability to do that in many languages and many jurisdictions, and we've been working closely with our provider to ensure that the process is smooth and covers all aspects of what's required in our program. In terms of what follows after the background checks, and assuming everything's clear, there is a requirement to do an online interview. There is no need, or there's no requirement to do a face-to-face interview. So those interviews are done online and are recorded. And again, just for the sake of interviews, I realized the background of people that we have might come from people speak different languages. We can the interview will support different languages. And just before, I'll leave you with the thank you for your time, and that's my contact. But in conclusion, what I'd like to quickly just say is that the program has been running for a year now. Officially, the first application was received almost 8-9 months ago, but since then we have in the region of 60 applications. We have approved many. Some of those approved come from Europe. German family was the first one, US citizens, also stateless people from Kuwait and other nations. So the program attracted, and from Asia, of course, a large amount of Chinese and others. So the program has attracted applicants from all over the world, and we are currently busy processing applications received from Henley Partners and others. But just keeping in mind that the key differentiator for this program and why it might appeal to certain segment of people and others might not appeal to others is basically a couple of things. One is the competitive costing of the program, the quick turnaround without skipping any part of the due diligence process, so 3 to 4 months, and also the range of flexibility that it gives you. No requirement to visit the island or spend time there. Thank you very much for your time, and I'm happy to take any questions.
Thank you very much, Nicholas. I don't see any open questions in our Q&A box because I think we covered pretty much everything and everything is clear. But I have a question. I know that you started to receive approvals for first citizens of Nauru through the investment. So maybe you can give us like average statistics about how many applications were submitted and how many approvals. I know that it's changing like very deliberately, but maybe you just can walk us through this detail.
Sure. So as I said, coming to 1 year of program being launched, what we're expecting is we will publish all the details and make them transparent and open to people to see. The numbers keep changing, but what I can tell you now is that roughly we have 60 applications from all over the world, and in the pipeline there's a lot more. So without being very specific, for example, we could have been talking here about hundreds of applications if the program was open, for example, to Russian or Iranian, and that's not the case. So for us, it's not about the necessarily the number. It's about, given the criteria that we've set up for ourselves and the policies that we are bound by, the numbers are satisfying. The process is fluent, so meaning let's say we have 20 plus approved cases, but in the pipeline, people are being moved from one stage to another where it's coming closer. Sometimes there's a number of applications that should be approved, but they're pending, for example, the very last, the interview stage. So a lot's been processed, and as I say, more in the pipeline. But what's interesting about this Nubar is we have cases of people receiving their passport, including people from the US citizens who applied and have actually traveled on the Nauru passport and have gone to many different countries, including Nauru. So I know some people are they love traveling, and we were lucky with one of the applicants who actually made it to Nauru. Yeah, so the application has moved from being just on paper to being approved, and passport's been issued, and people are traveling on the passport, on the Nauru passport. Yeah.
Great, very impressive. There is a question in the Q&A box. I assume you see it. Do you want to answer the inquiry?
So the question is, are you concerned with the White House potentially banning Nauru citizens, similarly to how it banned some Caribbean citizens a few days ago? To be honest, I'm not following the news. Maybe that's more of a diplomatic. We are concerned with our program. We cannot comment, and we were not in a position to comment on what or speculate on what might happen in a country like US or others towards Nauru or our program. At this stage, there isn't such a ban, and yeah, we can't speculate or put ourselves in a position where we say, if this happens, what we today the program is strong. It runs. It continues to run. And as I said, people who have gained the citizenship are traveling around the world, and that's very positive to see. And we look forward to more and more people joining the program.
Thank you. And the world is very dynamic, so we cannot predict anything.
Yeah.
But the main thing is that our program is running and it's very strong and transparent.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Great.
Yeah.
Great. So yeah, so we have come to the end of our today's session. And let me share my contact details so that you can get them. I think you can see, yeah. So you can see my contact details on your screen, and there is also a QR code that leads you to our website where you can follow the link and check our website and other programs. And please feel free to reach out to me directly or to Nicholas if you would like to receive more information or have any further questions. Anything you would like to add, Nicholas, to today's session?
Thank you so much, Nubar, and thank you again for the Henley and Partners team. We look forward to being of help. If you have any questions from your audience, please pass them on. We're happy to come back to you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining me today. And thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us today. Please do not hesitate to reach out, and we always remain at your disposal. Have a good day.
Bye. Thank you.